Welcome to Geek Speak Live.
Hello, Geek Speakers, and welcome to Geek Speak Live. It is, of course, Friday night. Where else would you be but here at beautiful Kaboom Comics, downtown Toowoomba, with my co-hostess with the mostest.
Wait, comes it on the pots and pans.
Hello, big fella.
Hey!
Mates, what a meal. We had a pre-show dinner tonight that is just... My mouth is still watering, even though we ate huge.
I kind of feel like I need to have some time to myself.
We need like a little lay down, just a little food coma.
Amazing.
Tell the people at home what we ate, Ginge.
We had some Philly cheesesteaks. Thanks very much to the people at Chef's Lab.
Here in Toowoomba, they're a pop-up. They follow them on Facebook and Instagram, and they do different areas around town, different events where they have their little food truck. You rock up. They've always got a changing menu. Mate, tonight we didn't just have a Philly cheesesteak. Now, just a little bit of background. Me and this fella here love Philly cheesesteaks. We literally drive to Brisbane to get a Philly cheesesteak, right?
But we can't drive to Brisbane because the shop is shut.
The place we normally go to is closed at the moment and reopening in a few weeks. So we've been hankering for a Philly cheesesteak.
Yes.
And finally, you said to me the other day in like really excited tones, I thought he was having a stroke.
I was, oh my God!
Like that, right? Busted an eardrum. You were like, dude, Philly cheesesteak. And I looked at him and gone, we can't go to Brisbane to get it. And he's like, no, it's here in Toowoomba. And I'm like, what? And so you went along tonight, you grabbed it before the show.
Yes.
And you surprised us with a little something else as well. Tell the folks at home what that was.
It was a Korean corn dog. But holy...
We ate it first to see you, because it's that whole thing of we know that we're going to enjoy a Philly cheesesteak regardless. So we'll try the weird new thing first. If we don't like it, we can kind of wash the taste out with the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The frigging Korean corn dog.
Yes.
2 thumbs up. So Chef's Lab Toowoomba. Look them up on Facebook. Look them up on Insta. Support them. Fantastic. We, look, honestly, 12 out of 10. They get 2 extra points just for being here.
Jono's just said, I hope you wiped up the drool that they left while they were watching us eat them.
They were. They got here just as we were setting up, the boys to have a quick chat, and we were just... That's a horrible image.
Hang on.
That's a horrible image.
We're eating the food.
We're eating the food in front of these 2 poor buggers. Jono, I hope your curry's coming along. He was going home to cook curry, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But anyway, we little secret, we've got one left over to split between us before we go home. So we've got an after-show dinner as well. Some people have dessert. We just have another Philly cheesesteak.
Hello, everyone watching at
Hello,
home.
Scott. Hello, Danny, Paul, Laura, Jono. Good to see you all there. They're the names that have popped up thus far. If you're watching and you're new, say hi so we know you're there. Big fella, what a week.
There's Comic-Con at home has been happening throughout the last little while.
As we know, COVID-19 worldwide still a friggin' mess. And so conventions have been postponed. So Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con didn't happen this year, apart from San Diego Comic-Con, SDCC at home.
At home, yes.
Did you follow any of it?
I've only seen a couple of videos that they were streaming live.
I found it hard to actually track some of the stuff down.
What I found is that I expected it to be absolutely schmick, right? Really high quality production value.
Yep.
But the ones that I have watched seems like it's just some guy in his spare room, on the headset mic talking to creators on Zoom. They just get Zoom. Zoom is actually able to be streamed live on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah,
and
it didn't really. It wasn't quality, which worries me about DC's Fandemonium.
Yeah.
That they're coming up with very soon in a couple of weeks, I think.
Yes.
And I'm worried that it's going to be the same kind of thing. That it's just creators talking about stuff on Zoom, and we're just going to sit there like mugs and watch it. And I'm like, well, put a little bit of pizzazz behind it.
Yeah, some graphics. I did the one that I
like the lower third here.
What I did see is the Bill and Ted stream, and they had a lot of graphics, and Kevin Smith was hosting it, and I mean that looked well done. But
that did look well done.
But some of them I've just.
Hi Jared, hi Joel, who's joined, and Joel has said beer. Joel, beer. I could go with one of those, but I've only got stuff to help my throat tonight.
Technically,
I haven't got the Rona. I'm just when you talk a bit during a show, my throat starts to dry out. So I've got lemon.
Right. And honey.
No, there's no honey.
No honey?
Apart from who's beside me.
Still single ladies. Just putting it out there. I am not him.
Yeah, no, I'm taken. Right? It's there. My wife's gonna go for that boy. I'm only joking. It does not burn.
Have you been watching anything this week?
No.
No?
No. You know what? Seriously. Once again, remember I said last week we haven't really watched much apart from YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm at this funny stage at the moment where I'm waiting for Umbrella Academy Season 2 to kick in next month, which is literally tomorrow. August, I don't know what date Umbrella Academy drops. And then The Boys in September. People are suggesting shows to us, but we're just... I don't know, we haven't just got the... Yeah, let's just
no
watch that.
enthusiasm for...
No, I've lost track of anything that's coming out on Netflix movie-wise. We've started to watch a few older films on a weekend and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, I watched The Quick and the Dead after you borrowed the DVD.
I gave it back to you.
Holy shit, I'd forgotten how good that movie was.
Fantastic. If you've not watched it lately, go and watch that. Quick and the Dead. Russell Crowe's first big real American film.
Sharon Stone and...
directed by Sam Raimi.
DiCaprio himself is in it
DiCaprio.
as a kid. Holy hell. Some of the comments coming up. Joel says beer helps sore throats.
I don't have a sore throat, but I'd like to have I should have a beer later. There's one in the fridge.
Laura said it's ready to watch tonight. Umbrella Academy.
Is it? Did it drop? I thought it didn't drop till like the first couple of days of August.
I do know that the first couple of minutes are online that you can watch.
Oh, guess what? We're watching tomorrow. And Joel said, I've been revisiting the MCU movies this week. Are you enjoying them, Joel? Are they good to watch? Like, I can rewatch the early ones, especially the Captain America films in a heartbeat. Love them.
About like X-Men 1, X-Men 2.
Yeah, I haven't gone back and watched them.
No?
Doctor Strange for me, I don't think I can sit and rewatch that. Yeah, Ant-Man, it's just some of these films I go, I've seen them, I know them, I don't need to watch them again.
I still haven't seen Thor the Dark World.
The second Thor movie?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I'm for real.
It's actually not that bad a film.
Yeah?
Yeah. Go fucking do your homework, go watch it.
Oh, really? Do yourself a favour.
Do yourself a favour. The only thing I have watched this week, thanks to you, kind sir, I watched the new documentary about Todd McFarlane.
Like hell I won't.
That's right. Now, I've watched his original doco that came out very early 2000s called The Devil You Know. Todd McFarlane, The Devil You Know.
Yep.
That, to me, became a go-to grail thing to watch. And fucking rest my heart. Hand on heart, I have always been, he's been like a mentor.
Yep.
He's a guy I've always aspired to in business to go, I want to be like Todd McFarlane. Because this is a guy who just looked at an issue and said, I'm going to do it. And never let anyone talk him out of it or whatever else.
Did he throw his hat over the fence?
No.
He threw it over the wall. We have to go do it.
He always actually, there was a line in that The Devil You Know where he used to say about the difference between, like the average person and an entrepreneur, a business person, was the average person would walk up to the cliff and go, I know something's better over there. But what happens if I jump and I fall and I don't make it and everything else? He said an entrepreneur gets a fucking run up and launches and doesn't care what's on the other, about failing. They just got to get over there. Okay. Right? And that always stuck with me.
Yep.
And it's an attitude I've had in business, and I mean, 17 years I've been doing Kaboom Comics.
Didn't seem to be the attitude you had when we went to the Grand Canyon.
That's a different cliff. Glad you doctored the photo to make it look like I was actually standing on the edge. I was easily 4 meters away from the edge.
Yeah.
Ginger's like, I'll do it in post. Anyway, so that original doco of Todd McFarlane, I've loved it for years.
Yep.
And it's always been a go-to for me. If I'm actually kind of questioning things in life with business and that, I'll go, I'm going to throw that on. I'm going to watch that just to And then I heard this new one was coming out, and I said, you've got to get it for me.
Oh yeah.
Because it sadly didn't stream here in Australia. Right, and there's restrictions on watching it in Australia because of the company.
It's on YouTube to watch, but Australian audiences aren't allowed to access it.
We can't because it's sci-fi. So someone got me a copy, and I managed to watch it this week, and dude, I was blown away.
Oh, it's nearly an hour long, and holy shit, it left me wanting more.
Yeah, definitely. I got to the end of it, and I went, "Is that it? I want more."
Yeah.
And it showed it because now Todd's he's nearly 60. Do you know he's 59?
What?
He's 59 years of age, right?
Shit.
So he's 20 years older than you and I. And he he's a bit wiser, it'd be probably nearly 20 years since the first documentary.
Yeah.
So this doco, it talks about his past and everything else, but it also focuses on the lead up to him publishing issue 300 of Spawn.
Yes.
Now, issue 300 tied him with Dave Sim, with Cerebus, right, as the longest running creator-owned comic in the world. 301, we're up now to 307, right, of Spawn. But 301 actually broke the record, and Todd McFarlane is now publishing the longest creator-owned comic with Spawn, right? Spawn is now the longest published creator-owned book. So this focused on the lead-up, this doco as well. We cut between people talking about, and him talking about his past and his life, to flash to the studio. They're 3 weeks out from print. Where are they with the book? And then talk, boom. They're 2 weeks out from print. Where are they up to?
Yes.
But there was a part towards the end, and I thought it was actually really beautiful, where he's talking about, like, obviously Wanda, his wife.
Yep. Been
Been married since 1985, right? They've got 3 kids together, 2 daughters and a son. Anyway, he's saying about how she stuck with him, and he's probably put her through some stuff because of he's had legal battles over the years. He nearly lost his company. He put it into Chapter 11 bankruptcy to protect the company. When he'd lost a couple of legal cases, and he thought, I don't want to lose my empire because of this. I don't want my wife to be, destitute because of my actions or whatever else.
Yep.
And as he's talking about his wife, he chokes up, doesn't he? He stops. You see him getting a bit teary, and he's struggling to talk. And I went, that's another side of him I've never seen. Like, publicly, he's always put forward this, we can do it, we're going to kick ass, no one's going to tell me no. And yet when I've met him in person a couple of years ago at Brisbane Supermarket, one of the friendliest, warmest people you could ever meet. I still say, in my 17 years of retailing, there were like a handful of key moments. The 2 biggest ones in my life, meeting my beautiful wife here at Kaboom Comics, right, Danielle.
Oh my God.
I love you, babe. Right? And the second was meeting Todd McFarlane and getting to have a chat to Todd McFarlane about business, about comics retailing. 2 of the biggest things in my life was...
I didn't get a mention at all.
Did
you notice that?
Third biggest thing...
Not one mention.
You've been in my life longer than Kaboom has. Third biggest thing was actually GeekSpeak. Founding GeekSpeak with you through Kaboom. So that was my... If he had have let me finish...
No. Had his chance. Bridget said to say g'day, evening gentlemen, hello. And Tony's watching home, hello very much.
Jared said, I've never read Spawn before, how would you sum it up? Amazing. It's a product of its time in the early issues. It grew over time. If you like horror, especially back in the day of that 90s, it's very 90s, like
it is,
92 or something, the first issue of Spawn. But as it went along over the years, it's become very much a horror book. The last few years, very, very horror orientated. Jason Sean Alexander's the artist, is one of the more recent artists, and he's got a very horror style. Seriously, I'll be getting some more graphic novels into the more recent kind of few years worth. Sadly, there is no full run of graphic novels to work your way through. He started reprinting them, and then things have happened, and they've just stopped. And then they've got chunks of the newer stuff published. So I'll be getting in the newer stuff. And Jared, seriously, I'll flick through and show you some stuff when I get them in. Because Jared's one of our fantastic customers. And we'll see what you think then, good sir. But I like it. I've always had a soft spot for Spawn.
It's a guy that sells his soul to the devil to come back.
I just noticed when you said hello, Tony, that's the lovely Tony that married us. Not you and me, we're not married. My lovely wife and I. So, hey Tony, good to see you, long time. We need to catch up one day, sir, and have a beer.
Scott said, I love Spawn, one of my favourite reads of all time. Preacher still holds the mantle as greatest read for me, but Spawn is up there though.
Preacher is a phenomenal book. If you've never read Preacher, go do yourself a favour, pick it on up. And I know Jono will be saying the same thing. It was just one of them reads. It's like Watchmen. It's like V for Vendetta. It's a book every comic fan should have in their collection. A series, there's certain books, certain series. Forget the TV show for Preacher. It was shit. No, seriously, it was one of them things. They butchered it to get it onto to TV. They've changed the essence of what made Preacher special. And seriously, I only reread it a year ago, 2 years ago, 2.5? No, a year and a half ago. And I loved it.
Did the TV show have the guy with the ass for a face?
Yeah, ass face. Yeah. That's literally the character's name.
It was a stretch to name that character, wasn't it?
No, not really.
No.
You know the story behind that character?
No.
So he tried to emulate his hero, Kurt Cobain, but he fucked it up. So he put a gun in his mouth and shot, but it fucked him up and cut, and he stayed alive. And his father just hated him for it. His father wouldn't talk to him and shit like that because he looked at him and just went, "You're such a fuck up. You couldn't even kill yourself." But his face was all, and he was disgusting. The way they drew him made him look fucking disgusting.
Why didn't he just get a vacuum cleaner and suck his face back? No, it doesn't work that way. It's a fucking comic book. Of course it works that way.
Oh my god, you are weird.
I'm just saying.
I love you, dude, but you're fucking weird.
Oh, don't be like that.
What else you got for me? News.
News this week.
Dance, monkey dance.
Because of Comic-Con.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. Neil's quickly said Preacher is joint greatest book of all time with The Invisibles.
See, Invisibles is a bit too trippy for me. I've tried Jono and
It's Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Can't wrap my head around it, eh? Although that's what the fucking Wachowskis... I'm not going to say the brothers, sisters, whatever they are
The
now.
Wachowskis.
Just we'll call them the Wachowskis. They stole fucking heaps of stuff from the Invisibles.
For the Matrix.
For the Matrix.
But they stole from everywhere for the Matrix. Everything. Scott just said, can see the first issue right behind Todd's head. It's in store, people. If you haven't read it, get on it.
That way.
Where is it? There, Preacher.
There, it's moved.
Right there.
Sorry, it was on the other side of me. That side.
With Comic-Con at Home coming out this week, Zack Snyder released some footage of Superman wearing the black suit.
Yes, and that little clip where he talks to Alfred.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Alfred's got the cup starts shaking on the table. You can't see my hand here. The cup starts shaking on the table, and he looks up, and here's Superman in the black costume.
Oh, floats down.
I must admit, I was a little bit hard. I watched that.
Zack Snyder was saying that Warner Brothers wouldn't allow him to get the black suit made. So what they did...
that's just colour corrected.
That's the blue and red suit, and they've just colour corrected it black for that clip.
Fucking cannot wait for this to come out.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of things that aren't quite as they seem, right?
What?
I'm not pointing at you for anything.
Don't say, let's talk about things that are coming out.
I got hoodwinked this week. I didn't know until I spoke to you before. I think it was yesterday. These images popped up that were supposedly from Matt Reeves' The Batman. With Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz and everything else.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, set photos or whatever else. And in it, there was the Catwoman costume. I'm like, fuck, they've nailed the Catwoman costume. It actually looks really good.
Yep.
He's mainly in a tux. There was another shot of what was meant to be him with the new Bat costume with the collar and the fucking emblem made out of metal and everything else. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, and I was actually going...
Well, at least they got the Catwoman,
It's
right?
starting to grow on me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've said to you, like I was talking to a customer today and I'm trying to find it. I'm like, I saw him yesterday. And no matter when I typed them in Google, Facebook search, nothing come up. And I've said to you today, I'm like, fuck, what's going on? And you're like, dude, they were fake. And
oh, yeah. Yeah.
They were so fake, like they made Pamela Anderson jealous.
They weren't just fake, they were real fake.
How fake? Real fake. Anyway, I'm like, you're fucking kidding me.
Yes.
I've been hoodwinked.
Yes.
And so now I'm actually disappointed. I'm a little bit angry.
Yes.
Did anyone else out there see them and think that they were real? Or was it just this schmuck here who went, it's Batman? Anyway,
trailer came out, a teaser trailer came out this week saying that G4 is coming back. If you don't...
that was Attack of the Show.
Attack of the Show. There was a lot of other shows.
Is that where Olivia Munn got her start?
Olivia Munn was the co-host of Attack of the Show.
Yeah, what's she doing nowadays?
She was in X-Men.
Yeah, Psylocke, wasn't she?
Yep. But it's coming back. It's been 6 years. I never saw the movie.
No, do you like her, Olivia Munn?
Hey, yeah, why not?
Okay, cool.
Olivia, if you're watching, I'm available.
I don't think she is.
Really?
I think.
Oh, don't be like that.
I could be wrong.
No.
I could be wrong.
Really?
Maybe.
Damn. It shut down in 2014, 6 years ago.
Why did it shut down?
Just no excuse.
There's a lot of... Remember the one Maud Garrett used to be part of? Was it Nerdist or something like that? It was one of them. Maud Garrett, the Aussie chick, Peter Garrett's... The one who I've always said, I like Maud Garrett, and you're like, no, she looks like a horse.
I have never said that. Don't be saying that on...
You did.
I did never. I refuse.
Anyway, same thing with a lot of the show that she was on, that Brie Esrig or whatever her name was. She's another chick. She's gone off and done her own stuff on Instagram and Twitch and all that now. But they were all part of these shows on a network over there. And the network, essentially, it got bought out by a bigger network.
By an actual television network?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, it kind of got folded in, but they kept doing the shows. And then I think it was beginning of this year and very end of last year, they essentially just... it all just come to an end. Like all the shows were gone. It was all geek related kind of stuff, like video gaming show and other nerd news type things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because they got absorbed, they by the bigger company, and the bigger company suddenly turned around and went, there's not enough money in this geek stuff, like because it's YouTubing and everything else. Nah, we're gone. Get rid of it.
That's what I found about G4. I went back and watched some of the videos, and they're like hour-long episodes, and it's shot just like a television show. In
tons of
studio,
work.
Then there's gags, then there's
You and I used to
location
watch
stuff.
Variant Edition, the comic one. Remember with
From the Film Riot guys.
yeah, the Film Riot
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, Variant.
Variant. Full
is it?
stop.
Oh, sorry, Variant. And that was fantastic. And it was filmed on a green screen or whatever else. But the quality behind that show, is it still going?
Yeah, Variant is still going, and they're doing like a podcast, a video podcast.
Do they?
as
Well, that's good. That's the one that has a lot. Do you still watch Film Riot?
It's been a little while since I watched Film
You
Riot.
used to be like
like every week it
You used to send me clips all the time. And
Yeah.
go, watch this Film Riot one. Watch this. Because it was two brothers that did a lot of the stuff.
Started off, yeah.
Yeah, started off. Did they sell out or is they?
No, that's their own thing, and they moved from Florida to Texas, and have set up base in Texas.
Because the guy who does Variant, I'm pretty sure he's from Texas
I'm
originally.
not sure,
wasn't he?
but I'm pretty certain he come across with them from Florida as well.
Oh, okay. There you go. Anyway,
Off on a tangent.
But if you get a chance, watch those kind of shows. Variant.
Yes.
Look it up on YouTube, and it's a show about comics and stuff like that. It's really good.
Trailers to be looking out for
Yes.
this tomorrow.
I looked at your note, and I was about to look at you and say, if you mention that movie, I'm going to roll my eyes and go, I'll believe it when I fucking see it.
Yeah, they reckon that the trailer is going to come out.
For
Wonder Woman 1984.
why? You know what? There's something going on with this movie.
Yes.
Right? It was meant to come out last year, got pushed.
Yes.
We've had other things at the end of last year, even beginning of this year, other
Yes.
conventions where they could have gone, here's the trailer, here's
Yes.
the trailer. Not even a fucking proper teaser. There was that little tiny teaser where she's lassoing fucking lightning bolts and everything else.
But that was a full trailer. There
Was it?
There was a full trailer.
Well, it
went
was
for, like-
shit. I remember watching that going, what is this crap? Why is she fucking lassoing lightning bolts, right?
Because Thor was helping her fly.
Fuck off.
She
Anyway,
didn't have the invisible jet yet.
fuck off. Anyway, something's going on. And we kept hearing, remember, we've talked about it before. I nearly fucked that on my phone.
We nearly live on the air sprayed stuff everywhere. I mean,
Instead
drink.
of flipping tables, I'm throwing glasses.
Exactly.
We've talked about it before, where test audiences apparently watched it, and Warner Brothers got such negative feedback.
And then they had to go back and reshoot.
And I think that's why it keeps
scenes
getting pushed. And now I've heard 2 months ago we were meant to get a trailer or
Yep.
whatever else. It never happened. Now you're telling me it's coming out. What? When?
Well, DC Fandom is coming out August 22.
Right.
But that's not the day you're going to see the trailer.
When are we gonna see
You're going to
the
see the day after. You're going to see it August 23, allegedly.
So that's another 23 days away from now.
Exactly. And then they reckon that it's actually going to come out in cinemas October 2. October 2.
Why would
It's
you leave the
apparently.
Why would you leave the trailer so close?
I don't know.
I think it's a flop. I really, really think it's a flop. Even the DC Comics have had variant covers that they have advertised for Wonder Woman 84.
Yep.
That just keep getting, they solicit it, people put in orders for it, and then within 2 or 3 weeks, those orders are cancelled. It's going to be
Yeah,
resolicited.
well, you can't see this yet.
Well, yeah, that's what they keep.
That's what they're saying.
And then they're like, okay, and then they resolicit it. I've got customers who go, give me those variants for the 1984 covers. Yep, cool. Then they cancel them again, and you're like, fuck's sake, get your shit together, DC Warner Brothers, and fucking, if it's a piece of shit, it's going to be a piece of shit. Just bring it out so we can judge it.
Scott said the editing room for that movie must be just covered with deleted scenes and cut together scenes. Yeah.
It's disappointing too because I love Gal Gadot. I think she does a fantastic Wonder Woman, right? And no, not just for that reason. I just think
hang on, don't misinterpret my for.
Fine, sorry. You also make that noise when we get donuts.
Hang on, don't be telling people this stuff.
What do you got?
Well, are we allowed to talk about? We're talking about deleted scenes. Are we
Right.
allowed to talk about a deleted scene that we may have come across?
Guess what? Thanks to a very fine friend who I shan't name, but I'll just call him JR, right? Great bloke, and a friend of Kaboom and Geek Speak. Sent us a clip. Now he's a man in the know. He's got someone on the inside at Warner Brothers. We got sent and we viewed it just again before.
Yes.
A deleted scene from Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever.
Yes.
Now it's part of we may even get a working copy soon. We're not sure. We've got our fingers crossed that it may happen. Of the actual full
Yes, the full
Batman
Schumacher
Forever,
cut.
the Schumacher cut.
Yes.
The scene we just saw definitely isn't in the movie.
It is not in the movie. It's not in any of the deleted scenes
and it's
I've
not
ever
a
seen on a
costume
DVD.
shot or anything. It's Bruce and Dick. It's not Bruce's dick. It's Bruce and... It's not Batman damned all over again, okay?
If Batman's in the background.
Batawang. Anyway.
Wow. Dick Grayson is pulverizing this boxing bag with Two-Face's newspaper clipping photo.
on it, and there's some dialogue,
Back
blah,
and
blah,
forth,
and he's just like, you're nothing like me, and you don't understand me, whatever. And then Bruce essentially roundhouse kicks and breaks the friggin' thing, and we're sitting there going, oh, like if there's more cool shit like that to extend the story out, I'm all over it.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm all over it. Like, I was going to say something. No, I won't. I was just going to say all over it like Kids on Candy.
While we're talking,
is that your I want a donut?
That's my donut. Yes. While we're talking about alternate cuts, Star Wars.
Yes.
So the most recent movie we saw, the Skywalker movie.
Yep.
Apparently, back in before it came out, there was 3 edits, 3 cuts of the movie.
Yep.
J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy had done a cut together.
Yep.
Disney had cut its own version. And little to my knowledge, George Lucas had actually cut his own version of that movie.
Really?
Right? There was 3 cuts. Kathleen Kennedy chose not to use the other 2's and used hers. But when they did test screenings, George Lucas's cut scored the highest at every test screening.
Yeah.
And had alternate cuts.
And yet they didn't
takes.
use it.
They didn't use it.
No wonder Kathleen Kennedy's about to be out of...
Yes. It uses 40% different footage from the movie that we saw.
That's a fair chunk of different film, isn't it, really?
50 minutes worth of different angles, different takes, different scenes completely.
Yeah.
There's a scene in it where Leia, Han, and Luke, all 3 of them are together.
I was waiting for you to say Chewie, and I was going to do Chewie, but anyway.
And Chewie was back in the yeah. So that would have put the 3 main characters back in the same scene that we never got to see. I don't understand why, if audiences responded so well.
Why didn't they go with it? And that's been the whole thing with Kathleen Kennedy at Disney. Handling all this stuff. Everyone's saying she's handled it completely and utterly wrong.
Well,
she doesn't understand the core audience for Star Wars. I'll be glad to see her gone, and I'll be glad to see if George Lucas does come back and take the reins.
Well, after what we were saying last week, it might happen. It might actually happen.
Just quickly, before I do some comic stuff, I know you were talking about it with my wife before. Battlefield Earth turns 20.
20 years old. 20 years
Never
ago.
seen it.
Battlefield Earth.
I've never seen it.
I remember seeing it and actually really enjoying
That's John Travolta in like blue makeup.
In like an alien type makeup.
Is it blue? Is it blue?
It's not necessarily. It was color corrected blue, purpley sort of color.
Right. So I was going to say, was it a proto fucking Avatar thing?
No, not quite.
Okay.
Not quite. But
this was a flop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us what you really think.
But what they're saying, what's happening now is they're re-releasing a Ultimate Edition Blu-ray. It's going to have 70 minutes of extra interviews, little featurettes, stuff about the writer.
It really doesn't sound like it's going to be any better.
I'm going to buy the shit out of this.
Oh, you totally will. You won't watch fucking Goonies or Princess Bride, but you'll buy that shit. Battlefield Earth.
I really want to see it because of the special effects that they use.
That's better. The only reason you'd go for it.
But little did I know until I found out this today that the guy that wrote Battlefield Earth, right? Okay, he wrote the script based on the L. Ron Hubbard novel, right?
Yeah, who is it?
This guy's name is J.D. Shapiro.
Where do I know that name from?
You might know his name because he worked as a writer on Robin Hood Men in Tights.
With Mel Brooks?
Yes.
And yet he wrote such a shitty film for Battlefield
Well, he was probably given the novel and gone, here you go, make this into a movie.
Right.
I can only use what I'm given.
Speaking of things, I'm going to see. Watch this for a fucking segue.
He didn't really polish a turd there, you reckon?
You ready?
Just rolled it in glitter.
Are you ready for a segue?
Yes.
Speaking of things that are based on movies, or movies have been based on, guess what I've got in? I want to talk about these, right? These are fantastic. I'll hold these up. H.G. Wells, right? If I say to you H.G. Wells, what comes to mind?
The Time Machine?
Yeah, what else?
Or War of the Worlds?
Yeah, what else?
Island
Dr. Moreau.
Island of Dr. Moreau!
And The Invisible Man.
And The Invisible Man!
I'm going to kick it off with this. These are beautiful. Look at this beautiful hardcover. Look at this. Look at this here. Look at this. H.G. Wells, The Invisible Man.
That
right,
artwork is amazing, man.
These are French books. These are, of course, translated into English, or otherwise I wouldn't be selling them.
Use French words. It is le French.
Because fuck all of my customer base talks French or reads French.
It is le book.
Le book. Anyway, Insight Comics is a company who these originally came out and published in France.
Yep.
So it's European artists, and they've got the rights. They republished them. Now they sent me a file a couple of weeks ago because they're pushing me. They originally came out 2018, I think. Some of them came out 2018, some are 2019.
Yep.
And because of COVID, they've gone, look, people need books in stores and stuff. And we're giving these another
You can
push.
buy this again.
Here's the first couple of chapters in a digital format, which I always go, ugh. Because I'm such a fucking technophobe and I want to read a real book, but I popped it on my iPad. I had to flick through the first few pages and went, I'm in. Well, I looked at the artwork and just
Sons of bitches.
Anyway, so I ordered them in,
Yep.
and I have been selling these. I don't know why I'm suddenly German.
They're not French. Well, so they spent a lot of time in France. The Germans, I mean.
They did, didn't they? Anyway.
I'm going to shut my mouth because I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, you're going to get us both in trouble. Anyway, these are phenomenal. I want to show the artwork to the lovely people out there, right? I mean, have a look at the artwork here. Look at the detail on the
It's so
Why am
pretty.
I still doing German, gent?
It is so pretty.
Look at that artwork. Let me see if I can find some other cool... Like the detail in the artwork. This is something I'll always give European artists. Their backgrounds are super detailed.
That's
the
so
line
cool,
work is just phenomenal. Right? So that is The Invisible Man.
That is so cool.
They've also done The Time Machine. This was beautiful.
I think I'm going to have to buy this one.
The Time Machine is just phenomenal. Now, they are each book is a different artist. It's the same guy writing it. Dobbs is the same writer. Look at that art style. If I can get that there. Look at that.
Und it's good.
Und it is fab.
Hang on, that's not French.
No, I don't know what it is. Anyway, we're going to get in trouble. That is the cover to The Time Machine.
I think I'm going to have to buy that.
As I said, there's War of the Worlds and Island of Dr. Moreau. There's 4 in the series. Now, they are a bigger... Compared to your average American graphic novel, these are the European format, so they are wider, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
The artwork pops that artwork up a bit bigger. They retail for $45 for a beautiful hardcover. They are well worth it.
They're decently put together, yeah.
They're just beautiful. What can I say? So if you're looking for something a bit different to read, you want to read a classic, but you want a beautifully illustrated classic, pick up H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, The Invisible Man, Island of Dr. Moreau, or The War of the Worlds, right? I've got these 2 in stock at the moment, are available at Kaboom. You can buy them online from www.kaboomcomicsaustralia.com. That is our online store. And the others we'll be getting more of these back in stock as well, along with the other 2.
Cool.
Okay, so I just want to give that a pump. And now, speaking of because I thought we'll do a bit of a Euro comic.
Okay, let's go around the grounds.
Go back in time, Ginge, to when we were wee schoolboys at St Mary's. Ready? Go back in time thing? Ready?
Oh, hey, people at home, you've got to shake your phone.
Shake your phone. Ready? Get into it. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Anyway, so back in the old days when we were at school, we're talking the 90s, remember every school library, I think, had one comic in their library, always. It was the same across all schools. Everyone you talk to goes, yeah, we had that in our school library as well.
Yeah.
And it was the thing, if you had a spare period, and they're like, you got to go and study in the library, fucking straight to the section where Asterix, right, was always on the shelf. And we grew up reading.
I'm pretty sure all the librarians across Queensland just got given the same thing.
It was either Tintin or Tintin and Asterix, or just Asterix. But they were always European books. We never got Batman in our libraries or Spider-Man or whatever else, right?
Not like schools these days.
Lucky bastards. Anyway, literally, I got prompted by a customer the other day. I hadn't even thought of these for a while. We've never really stocked a lot of Asterix or whatever else. And it was because a couple of years ago, our main distributor used to always have trouble getting them in or keeping them in stock. So we just kind of tapered off. We're now with them. We've also got a massive worldwide book distributor that we've been lucky enough to get an account with, that we've been with since last year.
Cool.
So suddenly this customer and I were talking about European books, and he goes, I'm thinking about getting you to get me some Asterix. I was like, oh shit, I haven't thought of that for a long time. So I logged in, checked. And they're doing these omnibuses now, right? This is a soft, you can get it in hardcover. This is volume 1. Now this collects books 1, 2 and 3 of Asterix, which was Asterix the Gaul, Asterix and the Golden Sickle, and Asterix and the Goths, right? All 3 books wrapped up into one big book, right?
Cool.
Mate, these are fantastic, and they retail for something like $32 or something like that.
Yep.
Full colour. I mean, look at that classic Asterix artwork. How friggin' cool is that? They were just great stories when we were young, weren't they? Look at that. So, so that's volume 1. That's volume 1 now, and we're going to be keeping these in stock at Kaboom. We're going to keep working our way. There's not because these are pretty recent. These omnibus editions. They're published through a company called Paper Cuts. Okay, and they're rather recent, so they haven't got like tons of these out yet. But we're going to be working our way through and building up a collection here. I've got the first 2 volumes in stock at the moment. Once again, you can head along to www.kaboomcomicsaustralia.com. There you go, and have a look at that. Asterix. There you go.
Laura said in relation to our flashback that Scott actually shakes the TV that they're watching.
Bridget, which book are you talking about? What else is the artist done?
The H.G. Wells stuff.
H.G. Wells. That's so there's 2 different artists. A lot of the stuff we will never ever see in English. Like they work on series published primarily just in France and Europe.
Yep.
So I couldn't tell you a lot of what they've worked on, the artists on these books, because once again, they don't do stuff that's ever published over here. This is a kind of a bit of a one-off that this company managed to pick up and just publish 4 in the series, all H.G. Wells adaptations. So yeah, sadly, I don't know. I'll see if there's anything at the back that might tell me more about the artist.
While you're looking that up, she's also gone on to say about the Asterix books, the soft cover. Have they improved the glue? She said she gave up buying soft covers because they would fall to bits in the Australian heat.
Well, which one's
the Asterix, the soft cover binding?
I think glue and saddle stitch. I think the binding looks very strong on these. It looks really, really good. And it's because they're a thicker book, they sit better on your bookshelf as well, so they should hold up to the Australian conditions. These are beautifully bound.
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Now, I'm just looking at the back. No, it doesn't tell me any more, but I will just say this. Originally published in 2017 in France, and then republished by a Californian company, Insight Comics, in 2018. And they were originally published in French in 2 parts, Le Homme Invisible and one and Le Homme Invisible 2.
God bless you.
By Editions Glenat. I don't think I've said that correct, but anyway, I don't speak much French.
She said the artwork reminds her a lot of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
More polished than Kevin O'Neill's artwork. Similar, like she's right. There's similarities to Kevin O'Neill, but this work here a lot more detailed, a lot more polished. Don't get me wrong, I like Kevin O'Neill. But these guys are probably he's probably farm league. These guys are like superstar.
That's awesome.
Anyway, there you go.
All right. If anyone wants to buy me those books, my birthday's coming up.
My wife's already said we need a full set for home, and then her mum's gone, can you get me a set as well? So
really,
seriously, I've got customers who've just gone. I've shown them one that we got in. Like the first one I took a chance on was Invisible Man. Got that across. Showed that to a few people. They just went, I want all 4. Well, they just gone. How many is there in the set? I've gone there. Look, there are different artists. The art is similar in a lot of them, but it is, when I say similar, they're not copying one another. But if you like the Invisible Man, you'll like the art and the rest.
Very cool.
And every single person I've shown it to has just gone, get me all 4. I'll take the lot. So there you
go. While you were talking about comic reader apps on your phone,
yes,
how do you feel about that compared to real life?
You can't compare.
Chalk and cheese?
Absolute chalk and apples to oranges, mate. I cannot get into reading books digitally. I've tried. I've got a number of customers who have tried.
Yep.
Same thing. I appreciate when publishers send me a PDF of a promo, like the first few chapters of a book or whatever else. I appreciate they do that. I struggle to read half of it, so now I've got this thing, and I'm not the only one apparently, but it's like why I can't read books digitally.
Yep.
Right? My lovely wife, she's got a Kindle, loves her Kindle,
Yeah.
and the battery life on that fucking thing is just phenomenal. Why can't they make everything have a battery life like that? Seriously. But her Kindle, right, she can sit there and read books on it, everything else. I've tried reading books, even on a computer. If I'm trying to read text,
Yep.
like a block of text,
Yep.
for some reason, my eyes start skipping a line, and I'll be right, like, that doesn't make sense. And I've got to go back, reread, like 3 lines worth. Oh, righto.
Yeah.
And my eyes just naturally, my brain just skips a line every once in a while. Whereas if the same block of text printed out on a piece of paper that I'm physically touching and looking at, don't skip a line at all. I can read it perfectly. So even digital comics for me, my brain doesn't seem to take in everything fully. So I don't get the right experience, and plus, I think books are a tactile thing. You need you need to touch a book. There is a scent about books.
Yes.
Old books have that beautiful. There is a word for it. I cannot think of it. It's just there, but I can't get it out.
Aromatherapy?
No, kind of no. But there is a word for the smell of old books, and people who enjoy the smell of old books. But even the smell of new books. When you crack open a brand new comic that's just come out of the box, direct from from the printer to the distributor to us, and then you crack that book open and you get that whiff of ink, that fresh ink smell. Oh my God. Oh my God, it is just amazeballs. And that is something that your Kindles and your iPads just cannot recreate.
Because I was reading an article today and they were talking about the top 10 apps to use for reading comics online. They were talking about Comixology, Marvel Unlimited, but then they also mentioned another app and it's called Madefire.
Madefire.
What it is while you're reading the comic, the panels will actually come to life and have animation.
Then it's not a fucking comic book. It's a cartoon. The minute you start changing it and the panels start moving or characters within the panels moving, that's animation. That's what that is. It's gone beyond comic book to animation.
And then they say that there are also music and sound effects that they add into within this app to make it a new or a different.
Look, I'm sure some people enjoy it, and they are probably people who aren't diehard readers. It's the thing. We get it in my industry a lot where there's a lot of retailers who are dead set against digital, right? And they're like, digital is the death knell of, because they've seen what happened to music, they've seen what happened to movies with piracy and everything else. And don't get me wrong, piracy is a big issue in comics. But unlike that, we've seen people who started on digital, who had a passing interest, read some books, went, they're really good. Oh, there's a comic shop in town. Guess what? I'll go in and I'll have a look. Do you have this book? Yes, here's the beautiful hardcover edition of it. Oh, I'll buy that. I enjoyed it so much, I want to get it.
Yep.
They get that, they come back, what else have you got by that artist or that creator? Or that? I like that character, what else have you got? Wow. And this is where a good comic shop person will go, right, what did you enjoy about that? Come look at this. This is something similar. You might like this, right? Boom, boom, boom. It doesn't always happen, but let's say 8 times out of 10, we manage to convert those people to reading proper physical comics, right? So they are then part of the industry. So people who naysay digital, I'm like, don't get me wrong, I can't read it. I don't enjoy it. Others do. Good on them. A lot of the time, we get those people come across. They become lifelong comic book fans because they started out reading digital. I don't care how they get hooked, as long as they get hooked.
Yes. Here.
Yeah.
I guess. Kevin Smith, our old friend Kevin Smith, is coming back to Green Hornet.
Green Hornet.
He's joining up to create a Green Hornet animated series. Yeah. Oh, I'm in.
I'm in.
Until I read the next paragraph.
Why?
Targeted at family audiences. Okay?
It's going to be soft.
It's a reimagining.
Oh no. Is Green Hornet a chick?
It is going to be the grown-up son of the original Green Hornet.
Yeah.
And the daughter of the original Kato.
Didn't he, in his comic book series from Dynamite, Kato was a girl anyway?
I think that's what they're using. I think they're using that script.
Oh, okay, well that's fine. That's fine.
But Wild Brain,
if it's a legacy kind of thing where this, imagine, which is why I don't have an issue. If they go, right, we're gonna do Batman. Batman's gonna be different. Okay, how's it gonna be different? Dick Grayson's gonna become Batman.
Yep.
And in the meantime, Dick had a daughter. His daughter is going to become Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's legacy. It's an established character taking on from another character. That's cool. I've got
Yep.
no problems with that. It's when they go, we're doing a new Batman. Okay, who are you going to have? He's going to be some guy with,
3 arms,
three arms, a
comes
club
from
foot,
outer space.
and he's going to be non-binary, blah, blah, blah. And you just go, no, that's not Batman. That makes no sense,
I'm a little concerned because the production company Wildbrain is the same company that does My Little Pony and Teletubbies. A lot of their animation is very...
Oh, I'm worried.
It's a bit like that Thundercats Go
Oh,
type animation.
God.
However, they did do the Deep TV series.
Based on Tom Taylor, the Aussie blokes series.
So
They can wait and see.
I'll wait and see for it. I just...
Might be good. Chances are it's probably going to be good.
Yeah.
Bridget said, I rated my father's books after he passed. Focused on pre-World War I science manuals. Marvellous to smell and read. Those old books. You crack open a box of old books. Or you walk into an old bookshop that's got tons of books. No, seriously, there's a word for this. There's a thing. They ought to bottle, get
Obsessed?
that scent and bottle it. No, you know how people buy scent to spray in the car because they love the smell of a new car so much that if someone's worked out.
It's just like Vegas. If I could bottle... Well, they do. They have the bottled scent that Vegas
What
pumps
part of
through the
Vegas
casino.
do you want? There's
No. The casinos. It's that vanilla-y coffee smell that they
Oh, have
Yeah.
you ever noticed it in here? And I don't do as much as I should. We use vanilla in here because you know what vanilla is.
Yeah. It's chemical warfare against men.
No, it's a
It
trigger
is.
scent.
It
Especially
is.
for vanilla is a trigger scent to make men spend. That's why a lot of male-orientated stores, if you get a whiff of vanilla in there, that's why. It's a chemical thing that people have worked out. That
chemical
vanilla
warfare.
makes dudes smell. And if we mix vanilla with a cookie smell, right? The vanilla makes the guys want to buy cookies. Girls have a thing where they go, oh, cookies, I feel comfortable, I feel, So you mix like a vanilla cookie smell, bada bing, bada boom, you've got both awesome groups of sexes available to purchase more stuff. It sounds wrong, but it's not. It's science.
There is a company in America that actually bottles the chemical that they pump out of the casinos.
Yep.
And you can select which casino you like the smell of, and you can actually purchase.
Probably, I was going to say, not quite 9 out of 10. Let's say 3/4 of the shops in your major shopping centres,
Yeah.
right? Like your boutique specialty stores.
Yes.
3/4 of them will have a particular scent, especially if they're a national chain, that will have been formulated. That chain, it'll be sitting somewhere.
And this is the scent we.
This is the scent we
always
spray.
only use.
There's one of them that uses a very orangey, citrusy smell, which is a trigger for whatever that particular thing they're selling is. It's just in your brain, you kind of go, oh, yes, I want to buy that because of that citrusy smell. But yeah, 3/4 of your specialty stores in big shopping centres will have a trigger scent that is pumped into the shop. It boils down to chemicals, man. Chemicals and science.
Jono's actually come up with the word that it's called.
Velichor is the word for smell of old books. Like petrichor for rain. I say I love the smell of rain. Love it.
I knew someone that hated the smell of cut grass.
What is wrong with
I
them?
know, yeah, what the hell?
There is
Cut grass
nothing better
and
than
rain.
You know what I hate? What I hate
Uh-oh.
is when you're going through the valley. I don't mean like I'm going to talk when you're driving from Taunton to Brisbane and you hit the Lockyer Valley.
Oh,
right?
okay. You're not
Which is-
talking about
which
the
is
actual-
the
the-
salad bowl of Australia, is what they call it, right? And you
Especially
come through there.
late or early, very
Very early morning
dark
or late at night,
Yeah.
especially if there's been a little bit of rain through and they've cut. So even when they haven't cut stuff, you just drive through there and you hit where they grow cabbages.
Yes.
It smells like shit. And no matter what car I'm in, and I do it to him all the time, when we're going through there, I'll be like, "Did you fart?" And Jim's like, "No."
No, I just have the air coming through.
I did 4K back and you didn't say anything.
It's like when you go past the abattoir, you need to quickly put it on air recycle so you don't suck the air in. Maybe I
Past
need
the
to do
cattle
that
truck.
every time you go
So I actually
through.
don't mind the smell of cattle truck. My
Oh my
wife hates
God.
it. We go past a cattle truck and I'm like, because I grew up around cattle and stuff like that. So we go past a cattle truck and I'm like, oh yeah, it's like diesel.
You're like, oh, smells like home.
Hot
Cow shit.
cow shit. Hot diesel engines. Like if we're near in traffic where there's a truck or a truck pulls up somewhere else, because I grew up around trucks.
Yep.
the smell of hot running diesel, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Oh, it's one of them. It's a trigger scent for me. I just, you know, I'll be fueling up a fuel tank. If I'm pumping diesel in, even then, the smell of diesel, fucking, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Not fuel, not petrol, unleaded smell.
Stop sniffing petrol, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Diesel, thank you. I am a refined... No. Anyway, it is what it is. That's hang on. What did he say here? Core. It is core. Velicor. Velicor is the word for smell of old books. That's a fear release from the gas and emerges as a scent that many people like. It's the grass screaming. Really? Is that it? That's what it is. It's grass screaming.
Really?
What happens with the cabbages? Why do they smell like shit? Are they scared someone's going to come and cut them so
They shit themselves.
You said it, not me.
I didn't say what.
Right? There's got to be a word for that as well. Anyway, we've gone totally. We're
really,
fucking talking science on Geek Speak now.
I'm really trying to figure out how I'm going to go from liking the smell of cow shit.
Turn the ship around.
Hang on, Tom Cruise.
I call horse shit.
His space movie, he's actually got it funded. He's got $200 million.
This is the one he wants to film in zero gravity.
In space, yes. He's got an Elon Musk aboard, and he's also got NASA aboard.
Really?
And the director of Edge of Tomorrow is coming aboard to direct it.
Right.
$200 million.
Look, good luck to him. I don't know how it's going to go, but...
That's a lot of money for Tom Cruise to die on the on takeoff, on liftoff.
Especially if he wants to do all his own fucking stunts.
Exactly.
What else you got for me?
Got
anything else?
Keanu Reeves, during the Bill and Ted Comic-Con panel this week, said he would love to come back and play Constantine again.
Would he?
I really enjoyed Constantine, the movie.
Yeah, but call it something else. Don't call it Constantine, because he didn't play John Constantine properly. Constantine's blonde, British, not Keanu Reeves.
It could, but hey, for everyone that
as
never
a
watched
movie,
the movie,
it was a good movie as long as you got it out of your head that it was meant to be John Constantine.
And for everyone that's never read the comic,
well, those people are wrong. Go read the comic book.
No,
Fantastic.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
What?
The movie.
Yeah, as I said, I enjoyed it for what. If you get out of the mindset of this isn't John Constantine.
Yeah.
If you just watch it as another movie where they could have called him something else.
Well, it's like what they're doing, you know, with remakes and reboots and just.
G'day, Kent, who's tuned in. Kent Hill.
Hey, man.
Maybe so, sir, but not today. What does that mean, Kent? I have no idea.
Are we talking about the smell of horseshit?
Or Tom Cruise.
Or Tom Cruise dying?
Maybe so, but not today. We've got some real. I've heard some stories about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat them out loud.
Really?
No, they're really weird.
Really?
He's
really?
a weird guy.
Well, he is in Scientology. See, I could have used the Scientology back to Battlefield Earth.
You could have, but we've already done Battlefield. We got anything else to do?
Frank Miller.
What about him?
He's getting sued for $25 million.
It's a lot of money.
The producers they say they've got the rights to make a TV series and also a movie version of Hard Boiled.
Yeah.
But apparently what's happening is Frank Miller's going around all the different, like Universal.
Allegedly.
Let's throw allegedly in it.
Just in case John is watching, and he's always up me about
Yes.
So I'll do it for Ginge. Ready? Allegedly.
Miller is actively preventing that movie from going ahead.
Yeah, so this guy is suing him saying, look, I've got the rights to Hard Boiled, I think it is, and Sin City. But Sin City has a TV series,
yeah, Sin City and Hard Boiled, the
Frank Miller
series of Sin City. They've had the rights since 2008, and it's come over 10 years.
Yeah.
And he's actively going around different studios, different directors. He's even spoken to Zack Snyder and said, no, I wouldn't do that.
Really?
Yeah. So
allegedly this. But he's going for $25 million.
Yes.
Right. Frank Miller's attorney has come out and gone, this is frivolous. We're going to fight it tooth and nail.
Yes.
Let's see where this ends up. Chances are they may end up just quietly settling it for next to nothing. In that McFarlane documentary, by the way, going back to that, we were talking about Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn. Interesting thing in there where he talks about how he went into bankruptcy, and then I went and read up on it after the doco because they don't go into detail about all that. But when you read up about it,
Tony Twist,
and ice hockey enforcer. So McFarlane created a character called Tony Twist, who was a mob boss in the comic.
Antonio Twistelli.
Yep, and so Tony Twist, the hockey player, sued him a few years later and went, "Oh, you've damaged my reputation," and everyone's like,
Mate, no one
Who
knew
are
who
you?
the fuck are you?
Yeah. But anyway, so he was going for 25 mil, and it went back and forth to a few different appeals, and he won. McFarlane appealed and he won. I appealed and he won.
Yep.
And eventually it come down to $5 million.
It started off at
25.
24.5.
Yeah, and then came down right to 5 mil.
Yep.
Now, at the same time, McFarlane was also battling a lawsuit against Neil Gaiman over the creation of Angelo, Cogliostro, and all that from a one issue that Neil Gaiman had written, which Todd McFarlane said you would work for hire. And it also includes Medieval Spawn. Right? Neil Gaiman that was like, no, that's my character. It's like, how the fuck can you have Medieval Spawn and say you created that when it's Spawn is my fucking character?
No. I created Medieval Batman.
I'm pretty sure DC wouldn't allow you to win that.
No, I invented that.
Sure, Ginge. But
bitch.
anyway, so McFarlane was battling these two ongoing things at the time. And it was very likely he was going to lose his company. So he put his company into Chapter 11 bankruptcy. It took 7 years. And for one stage there, because he ended up, during that time, they come to an agreement, him and Neil Gaiman, through the courts. And he had to give Neil Gaiman $1.1 million. And so for a while, for 7 years, Neil Gaiman was the biggest creditor on... literally, that's what he did to protect his company. He didn't want to lose his company just due to friggin' lawsuits.
Yes.
So when you think about it, like all up, 6.1 million is not that much, considering he was doing sales of 50 million a year through his toy company and everything else, right? But he put the business into Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is a thing in America where you work with your thing and you trade out of it, which is what Marvel actually went through. Marvel went through Chapter 11 bankruptcy, came out of it, and then a couple of years later got snapped up by Disney. So anyway, McFarlane finally got it through and came out of it a few years back, and it's bigger and badder than ever. And Neil Gaiman got his 1.1 million and donated it to charity, and then turned around because the rights for Angela he sold then to Marvel. Within 12 months of getting the rights and that all being wrapped up, he sold them to Marvel. So Marvel now own the rights to Angela. Yeah. So Todd McFarlane can never reprint those issues of Spawn with Angela in them, I don't believe, and he can never use the character again.
Yes, we're going to have to get a few people on the...
Kent said Maverick, Top Gun 2. He said bring on Top Gun 2.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to do a round table and discuss some of these issues on a special Geek Speak Live.
I reckon we should do that one day. We'll get a few people in it and
because it's a really complex, in-depth issue that I think we need to talk about.
Especially about creator rights. There's a lot of ifs and buts and stuff like that. There's actually a book out there I just found last night. I've got to get my beautiful wife to get it for me. You can only get it online because it didn't come through regular book distributors. And it's the world, Todd McFarlane versus the world. Okay. And apparently, I've read a couple of reviews about it, and these people were like one of the best books, especially about all that kind of stuff that you'll ever read. And I can't think of the author. I'll try and do some more details on it. And I want to get a hold of that and read it myself. But yeah, Todd McFarlane versus the world. And it's like a bit of a biography about his legal battles and stuff like that.
Crazy.
Now, I was going to talk about the Alex Ross documentary. I'll talk about that next week because it's really, really good. We are pretty much at the end of the show, Ginge.
Yes.
Has anyone out there got any quick questions for us before we sign off for another Friday night?
While you're writing your comments, I'll also let you know about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
We all know that
Taika Waititi?
Natalie Portman is going to be playing the mighty Thor in that movie.
Jane Foster.
Apparently, she is getting jacked, is the term.
I thought... okay, guys get jacked, girls get ripped, is how I look at it.
Oh, okay, you don't use the word...
When I hear someone say, that chick is totally jacked, I think of something completely different. I don't like that term.
What if I go, Natalie Portman is totally ripped?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Shooting for that movie is to happen here in Australia at the beginning of next year.
Really? Directed by Taika Waititi. Is that how you say it, by the way? Is it Taika or Taika? I can never get it right.
You're telling the story.
If we ever got to meet him and say something, I bet I fuck it up.
Just go, hello, sir.
G'day. Well, he's a Kiwi.
He is.
You just go, g'day, mate, how are you?
Yeah. You surviving? You're right?
Yeah. How's your chili been? You had some fish and chops lately?
Are you wearing jandals?
Where's your Guernsey?
Son of... and while we're talking...
Joyce Asbrew.
While we're talking Thor, Chris Hemsworth...
Yep.
He's getting the most jacked he's ever been
Yeah, that's better.
because of the Hulk Hogan biopic.
Right. Oh,
Someone photoshopped him with his shirt off,
yeah.
but they put the mo and the hair on for Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
He needs to get really ripped
To play Hulk
to
Hogan.
play Hulk because Hulk was huge. Like his upper body was huge.
Yeah, you were always a Hulk Hogan fan.
I mean,
weren't you?
I remember as a kid watching the WCW stuff, and I remember
You were like a redheaded version of Hulk Hogan, running around with the singlet on and
ripping it
with the headband. You used to think you rocked that headband so well.
And the funniest thing was that I really had the ginger mustache as well.
As a little kid.
As a little kid, I came out of the womb with a little gingy fluff on the.
I came out looking like the baby from the Addams Family. You know, Gomez and things with the little mo.
I can imagine with the little alfalfa spike at the back as well.
What was I just briefly going to say? By the way, and I'll talk about... Oh, God, this chair is squeaky. I'll talk more about it next week. The first episode of Joe Quesada's new show that's coming to Disney+. Plus. It's on... I want to say it's on YouTube at the moment. And it's called Storyboards.
Okay.
And the first one...
Oh, yes!
He sits down over coffee with Hugh Jackman and talks about what the essence of a good story. Hugh Jackman talks about how he auditioned for Wolverine and his motivation behind Old Man Logan and everything else. So it's fascinating. Joe Quesada, former editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. He's now way up the chain at Marvel. And also a co-creator of Azrael. Did you know that?
And he speaks to a different person each episode.
Each episode is someone
Completely different.
And he goes on, like, one thing, he's climbing a mountain or something like that with snow gear on. This episode, he's out of breath because Hugh Jackman shows him how he gets pumped before a take for Wolverine, who used to kind of jump up and down, do these things, run on the spot, and he gets Joe Quesada to do it. And apparently it's to get the heavy breathing of Wolverine popping his claws and kind of thing. And Joe Quesada's like, I can't believe how out of breath I am, you know.
And he's like, can't you just act?
He's the method actor.
Yes.
Anyway,
Scott's had a quick question.
Question from Scott.
Comics have been real hit and miss when adapted to television and movies. What would be a comic series you would love to see get adapted? And who would you put as the creative director to see it happen?
ooh, I'd love to see Shadow.
Yes.
Based on the Dynamite Comics Shadow series that we've been reading for a while. Who would you put as a creative director? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I be honest? Apart from movie directors, when people say about like TV directors,
Yep.
I have no fucking idea who they are half the time. I don't follow TV directors. Movie directors, yeah, even then. I'm more about what's the subject matter of the movie and who's in it.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit who it's directed by half the time. In saying that, The Shadow,
Yep.
directed by Jon Favreau.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Oh. This table's...
Ah!
And they need to do a
You
remake.
can't feel it, but something just hit my leg.
They need to do a remake of Condor Man. They need to do a remake of Condor Man.
That was fucking left field.
A guy that's a comic book artist that gets mixed up with the FBI and becomes his own creation.
Kent said Wade Copson mentioned Battlefield Earth Special Edition. He
We
did
did.
earlier in the show.
We did. Rewind a little bit.
When this show finishes and the video finishes, you can go back and rewatch it. It's at the start. Kent, he talked about it there.
Lots and
trust
lots.
me,
Oh.
he talked about
Oh.
it.
Oh.
Someone loves John Travolta in makeup.
Oh, shut the...
What's that? If you can't pronounce your neighbour's last name, just call him mate. I do that all the time.
Yes.
And you know how you know someone, you've met them before, and they know you, and they'll be, "G'day, Todd, how you going?" And you're sitting there, and your brain's like, "Oh, I know this guy, but I don't know his name." My fallback is, "Yeah, good to see you, mate. How are you?"
Mate, oh, hey.
Hey, mate,
Good to
how
see
are
you
ya?
again.
How you doing? Oh, last time I saw you, a bit crook, you know. And then when they're leaving, because you still can't fucking remember the name, you go, "Listen, mate, have a fantastic day. I'll catch up with you next time."
That's why I'm being polite, but I call everyone sir.
You do. I notice that a lot.
I
I always thought it was a bit of an ass kiss thing, like, "Oh, thank you, sir." Oh, suit you, sir. May I have another one,
Thank you,
sir?
thank you, sir. May I have another?
Hey, Jono at home, he knows what I'm talking about when I say, "Ooh, suit you, sir."
Oh, suit you, sir. We're going to
sir.
hell for the things we are talking about.
We are Condor Man, yeah. Look, I knew someone out there would agree with
Exactly,
Ginger to say Condor Man.
exactly.
You and Ginger got the same kind of taste. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We hope you've enjoyed Geek Speak Live. This man here, this living legend, what an awesome co-host. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much. Wake ups and on the pots and pans.
I've been your host, Todd Bailey. Read some European comics because they're fucking great. And we will see you next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, here at Geek Speak Live.
Bye.
Bye.